Hey there. In this explainer, we're going to tackle what is probably one of the most important real-world math skills you will ever learn, and that's budgeting.
Okay, so picture this. You just got your first real paycheck. That feeling is awesome, right? All that hard work is finally paid off, and you've got money in your hand, or, more likely, a new number in your bank account. But then, almost immediately, this big question hits you. So, now what? What are you supposed to do with this money? How do you make sure it actually goes where it needs to while still having enough for the stuff you actually want?
Well, that's where a budget comes in. And listen, it's not just some boring list of numbers. It's the answer to that big, now what question. Think of it like your own personal roadmap for your money.
Okay, so if we want to get technical, the official definition of a budget is basically an estimate of your income and your expenses over a certain period, and it's a plan for how you're going to save and spend.
But, let's just simplify that. The easiest way to think about it is this. A budget is a game plan for your money. Seriously, it's about telling every single one of your dollars where it needs to go. That way, you're in control, not the other way around.
And in this whole game plan, there is one rule that is, without a doubt, the most important one. You've got to remember this phrase: pay yourself first. I know, it sounds kind of backward, right? But trust me, this is the secret to actually getting ahead with your money.
See, the old way of thinking is you just save whatever happens to be left over at the end of the month, if there's anything left. But the smart way, it completely flips that idea on its head. You treat your savings like it's your most important bill. It's a non-negotiable expense that you plan for right from the very beginning. You're literally paying your future self, and that's one payment you definitely don't want to skip.
Okay, so theory is great and all, but let's see what this actually looks like in practice. I'm going to walk you through a real example, step by step.
So here we've got a sample monthly budget. And look what's at the very top: savings. That is paying yourself first in action. Then we've got all the usual stuff listed out. Things like a mortgage, which is just the loan you pay for a house, and utilities, like electricity and water. It goes all the way down to fun stuff like concerts. Our goal here is simple: figure out the grand total.
The process is actually really straightforward. Everything's already itemized for us, so all we have to do is just add up all these numbers to get that grand total. And there's our total. When you add everything up, from the savings and the mortgage all the way down to that movie ticket, you get $2,990. This number is super important. It tells us the absolute minimum amount of money this person has to earn every month to make their plan work.
And hey, if you wanted to see the big picture for the whole year, you just multiply that monthly number by 12. So $2,990 times 12 gets you to $35,880. That's the yearly salary this person would need. Simple as that.
All right, so you've seen me do one. Now it's time for us to do one together. I'll guide you through it. Okay, check out this new situation. This person gets income from their salary, plus a little extra from somewhere else. They've got a list of expenses, and their big goal is to save 15% of their total income. So what's our mission? We need to figure out how much money is left over for entertainment.
Now, before we can even think about what's left for fun, we got to know our starting point, right? So take a look at the numbers here. What do you think the very first step is? Go ahead and pause for a second and really think about it.
Did you get it? The first thing we have to do is find the total income. So we add the salary and that other income together. That gives us a grand total of $2,300 to work with for the month.
Okay, so we've got our income. Now, remember that number one rule of our money game plan? What's that super important bill we always pay first? That's right, we pay ourselves first. So step 2 is to calculate our savings. We take our total income, that $2,300, and multiply it by 15%, which is 0.15 as a decimal. And that means $345 goes straight into savings. Done.
Great. From here, the path forward is pretty clear. You just add up all those other listed expenses: the rent, utilities, car payment, all that stuff. Then you take that total, plus the savings we just figured out, and subtract it all from the income we started with. Whatever's left over, well, that's your entertainment budget.
Okay, so you've seen me do one, we've done one together. Now it's your turn. Time to put these skills to the test on your own. Let's see how you do.
So here's a new budget for you to look at. The income is $1,848, and you've got a whole list of expenses. Notice that the 15% for savings is already calculated for you, which is nice.
But here's the twist. In this situation, the expenses are actually more than the income.
So your challenge is to figure out exactly how much money this person needs to cut from their spending to get their budget to balance out.
And I'll give you a little hint to get you started. The first thing you should do is add up all the expenses, including that savings amount. That'll give you the total amount being spent right now, and it'll make figuring out the next part a whole lot easier.
Okay, let's wrap this up, because the most important thing here is to see how all this math actually connects to your real life. This is so much more than just numbers on a page. So let's just quickly recap the big takeaways. Number 1, a budget is your game plan for your money. It's that simple. Number 2, the winning move is always to pay yourself first. Make savings a priority, not just something you do with leftovers. And finally, just knowing where your money is going, that is the single most powerful first step you can take to hit your financial goals.
And this right here, this really gets to the heart of it all. Every single dollar you ever earn comes with a choice. You can spend it now, or you can use it to build the future you really want. A budget, that's just the tool that helps you make those choices on purpose.
Learning how to manage your money is honestly one of the most freeing skills you will ever develop. Mastering your budget is step 1 toward building the exact future you want on your own terms. You have the tools now. You can do this.